what's up? I decided to let the other video run just because, you know, it is what it is. It is home life, I guess. We are playing Burial Hex. I was kind of fast moving through initiations. This is the, I couldn't play the record because, check previous video, 4 tone poems of Orloch, a tape box he did. One of the tape boxes he did. He has splits with Zola Jesus, with Sylvester Anfang. It goes on and on and on. He's very prolific in his, almost as prolific as Wolf Eyes, which is, you know, gateway noise. Some people would find it a polarizing band, calling it noise, but it is definitely noise. Some people are weird. Last stack, last video, this is part 7. 7 seems like a good number. 7. I could show the Burning Witch box and stuff like that, but I've shown it. I've tried to show records that I haven't shown now. That would be way down in the collection going through them, so we hit them now. Coming out of Burial Hex and that kind of stuff, that was Aurora Borealis, a label that did a lot of good shit that I got to know through Sylvester Anfang. They did Kosmis Slachtafval, which is sadly not on vinyl because it's a very beautiful record. I would like to, I was planning to do it on vinyl some time ago with Svartblad maybe, but it never seems to work out. I haven't taken the necessary steps, but in my head it's already done, so we'll see maybe someday when there's money and commerce and whatever. But Aurora Borealis gave me this one, Dead Raven Choir. I decided, not gave me, but they gave us. I decided to, when I ordered something, to put this in because I was getting into the aesthetic of, and it's the Conspiracy Days, and I'll run through the records. And looking at it, this maybe has to be a 2-parter, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I was getting into that more gritty stuff, and this popped up, and it is, to describe this is immensely hard, what Dead Raven Choir is. It is, I would say, if I called it back then, I would say it was black metal, but it is definitely not. It is very folky in some parts. It is, yeah, it is just weird music, man. I don't know too much about it, about the artist and stuff. This is 2007. It's recorded in Poland. D. Smoken, A. Jakubik, and M. Rosen, so it's a Polish band I'm learning now. And I think these are covers, but I'm not sure because it says Our Mother the Mountain by Taos Van Zandt, K. Tomokawa, S. Rogers, C. Porter, N. Case, and G. Frenzy. They also have an Army of Lovers cover, so that should tell you something about the reaches of this band. It is called My Firstborn Will Surely Be Blind. I am very happy to tell you that was not the case for me. It has one printed inner sleeve, and it also came in the dust sleeve. It is just a good pressing from that record label, which did quality, real quality. I don't know what happened. I never had real contact with the guy, I think, because this was pre-Facebook, pre-everything. So, but yeah, check this out. They have more output. They have a box set and stuff like that. So it should be easy to find because it's not expensive or anything. Wow, try them out. Okay, let's dig in. After this, I fell into the more post-rock, post-core genre stuff, and at that time I got reconnected with my nephew who did the label, which I'm blanking on right now, but he did release for Zymph and Bare Bones Lay Low and stuff like that. I'll do it in video, I guess. And I got to know Amen Ra through him, which was around the same time. I got to know about this band, Neurosis. This is Times of Grace. I've shown this one recently. This is the original press on Relapse Records, the black one that I got from Johan Reflections. Very cool record, but I'm not going to get it out because I showed it and this was my gateway to this. I got to know Neurosis after I got to know, once again, in retrograde, after I got to know bands like Mono and Pelican and what else is in there. All that conspiracy stuff that was hitting on Hydra. It's not conspiracy stuff, but it's always, I ordered them from there, always. But it's all Hydra head stuff, like Aaron from ISIS. But yeah, I got to know this band, which was for me at that time a revelation, together with some, which will come up later. It just exploded in my head to know or to find out that these guys were from Belgium, that they played such meaningful music, especially for me at the time, because this was in full depression mode, I guess. I was just recovering from my sickness, and then I went into a year spiral of depression. This was when I was maybe coming out of it, or it pushed me deeper in and then got me out. So this was also around the same time I got to know Hypertension. I wasn't there from the start because, you know, they have been around for a long time. But the record I got to know them by is this, Mass Tree, and I have two versions. The self-released, I guess, and then the Sound Devastation records from England. I have, previous to those, I had these, or I got these right after. These are the Prayers 9 and 10, two versions of them. This one is going to Acharon, my buddy David. I'm just going to give it to him. He's maybe at this point a bigger fan of Amon-Ra than I am. And, you know, sometimes you just have to give away. It's not that I'm giving it to him. It's kind of a trade. He bought some records for us, and I said, "Why don't you take the Amon-Ra?" And he said, "Well, then don't pay for the records." So, it's a one-sided, screen-printed 12-inch that has the tracks Prayers 10 from Bird to Grave and Prayer 9 Ritual. So before there were masses, there were prayers. This is a time when they played in very small chapels. They didn't do churches at that time. They played a forest at the fest. They played a fashion show for La Ville d'Or. They did all sorts of stuff. This will forever remain my copy, and I got this from Mondi, the original bass player for them, a one-sided screen. Now I know the other one is fancier, but I love this design more by him. It is numbered out of 100, I think, and I have number, no, it's limited, oh, here we go, 100, and I have 05, so it's his copy, I guess. The big ass sticker with the old site ritualofra.com, I'm not even sure if that is still up. And then this too is a one-sided screen printed cover. Now by now I think most of you know about Amon-Ra. There's not a show I can go to without someone having a hoodie, a shirt, a baseball cap, a patch, a skateboard, or whatever you... Everybody has something by Amon-Ra. They are merch kings at this point, and deserved. I mean, they built something up that is uniquely theirs, that is respected by almost everybody. The people who say they are not into it, I guess they had a period where they were into it, because, you know, these are all records that takes me a lot to listen to again, because what the connotation is and what the connection for me personally. I'll show this one first. This is the, like I said, self-released, I think. There is no label motion on it. We did, or Hypertension did, the CD version. It comes with a slew of stuff. It has these vellum copies, text files. There's just too much to say about this band. I talked about it. I did a discography video where these all showed up. This is the original poster that was in there. And the record itself is on clear, it seems. Or is that white? It's a white clear-ish version. I have no idea. This is first pressing, that's for sure, but even I am stumped that this is a white record instead of a black, so I'll have to do some investigatory investigations. No, I have no idea. Amon-Ra, yeah, band from Kortrijk, a lot of personnel changes. They have 6 albums to date, masses. I would say Mass 1 and 2 is maybe linked in the prayer, so I'm not sure. They came out on CD, and they re-released them on vinyl, of course, but I'm familiar with 3 and back. I have to be honest, I haven't really dug into 1 and 2, so maybe that's something that will come up. This came out, I got this from Colin as a gift, I think, or from Vincent, maybe, yeah, from Vincent. This is when they played Musical Home Playfest a gajillion years ago, and like I said, it's on Sound Devastation Records. This is a very beautiful one. Also comes with the same poster but screen printed on gray cardboard. This will fall for sure. Then it's all screen printed like it's the cover, but then the black chapel is screen printed on it. Extra, which is a very nice touch. Very nice. Their artwork is always impeccable. And the artists involved, especially Le 7e Oeil. There are tons of bands. Mondi at the beginning, because I think this is still Mondi material, I'm not sure. The Prayer stuff for sure. This is on green, thick slab of vinyl. And instead of just one record, I think this is two, or there has to be something really special in it. I think it's a one-sided, maybe screen printed. Right. This is another side, and this is one of the first times I think the now classic design of the tripod is unearthed. Is it on the regular one too? Maybe there's a logo somewhere. Yeah, it's there. So Mastery had the tripod already. You always discover something new. But there you go, very cool record. From the first guitarist, together with Ture, Vincent formed the backbone of those first guitar things that I mentioned, everybody. Bjorn, the drummer. I don't know too well, but great guy. So yeah, the Prayers EPs. This is coming to you, my buddy. I was going to mail it, but you know, let's meet face to face when all this shit is over. Then, plunge headfirst into Hydra Head. This is Mare. Now, I know there's a Norwegian Mare, there's probably a Scandinavian Mare again, and then there will be an Australian Mare and whatever. This is from, I think, America. I know nothing about this band except for some of the guys, or one of the guys, after this created Pyramids, which is equally great, but this is unbelievable. This is an EP, they never did anything else. This is 24 minutes, 26 seconds long, and it's been on rotation since I got it, and I think that should have been around 2000 or something like that. And he said they send you Tropics and Palaces, they send you is top 20 tracks ever for me. The atmosphere they create, there, goosebumps. That should prove it. The atmosphere they create, it is sludgy, but it's very beautiful, very melodic. Hydra Heads-esque, but they were kind of an outlier. Botch comes to mind, but not musically, just aesthetically, and you know, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Post-core, post-rock, milky clear. 12-inch, very good pressing, of course, because it's Hydra Head. And yeah, like I said, is there a Aaron Turner that's photos and stuff, but no, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know. I never found out. I never dug in. I didn't even dug into Pyramid because the mystery still, you know, like band like Old Man Blue. I know who's in there. I don't know who's in here. That's it. Let's see. Timing wise, perfect. 13. Okay. Hydra Head. Let's continue for a little bit more and show this. I don't think I ever shown this, maybe in a nice cover videos. This is ISIS. Now, speaking about polarizing band, ISIS is a very polarizing band. If you were a crusty and got into Neurosis around the crust time and followed them into their journey of epic doom, I could understand why you think this is too soft or too copied, or yeah, just a carbon copy of Neurosis, but I think ISIS for me, because I got to know him through this, and this is still one of my absolute favorite records, Panopticon. This is the Hydra Head version. Trust. Is it Hydra Head? Oh. I'm not sure. It says Trust. Do they all say? I can't for certainly say this is Hydra Head, but it doesn't matter. It has to be because it's Aaron. Why would he not release it himself? But yeah, it is the double album blue version of this record, and it's an absolute gorgeous piece. It is a concept album in the sense that Panopticon, the title, is about a system that the government or a prison can used to have absolute insight into everything. We have circle jail building, or whatever you want to call it, so constant surveillance. That is what this was about, and this was around the same time that CCTV got their first start, especially in England. I remember that because we had to do a project in art, some art class that I didn't want to do, and that I fucked up, I guess. So yeah, this is the big box set. It is heavy, it is beautiful, it has all the artwork. Doesn't have all the artwork, that's a bit of a problem, but it has artwork. But look at this, it's just all colored sleeves in the tones that the albums came out, so there's nothing much to show you, but it is a monolith for sure. So that is one of the most gorgeous things I have. Now, it's cool to have the original Panopticon because of the story with the prison and stuff like that, but this is also very cool to have. And I picked this up at an open house conspiracy day, which were always very cool. Then, a band or two bands that I have. One, I did the discography by one. It's just too much to do in one video. I have to research and stuff like that, but there's too much in my collection to do one video, so maybe now. This is Pink. I could have chosen anyone or every record by them. This is the one I didn't get to know them by, but they kind of blew up on this one. And once again, around that same time, around the same period that I was in high school, not high school, college. It's difficult to translate American style and our shit. Yeah, Boris, very heavy, droney trio from Japan. Atsuo, what's her name again? I forget. Takeshi Wata, of course, and Atsuo, the drummer and percussion. Takeshi is vocals, bass, guitar. Wata is guitar and echo, and then drums and percussion. Stephen O'Malley design on Southern Lords. Very nicely done. One of the most... Every version of this record is worth it. They have a die-cut box, they have this, they have a ton of releases. I have this one live, also on CD maybe, so yeah, I have a lot of Boris. And they were talking in a live stream about how this and some was not their cup of tea for a lot of them, which is weird. I guess it's not for everyone. I love how they play so heavy and loud, and especially live, but if you listen through the heaviness and just, there's some Japanese pop parts in here, and there's, I don't know, man, it is just a gorgeous record that I will love to death. It should have had the LSD inserts, and I would be really surprised that, of course, they are still in the vellum envelope. What did you expect? It comes with these extra cards that were also in the CD, I think, I'm not sure. So extra artwork that kind of depicts, if you take these three images, it kind of gives you the sound, you know, fun, mysterious, and scary. So yeah, these are all blotters for to put LSD on. I don't do that shit because I don't have it, but that means these are still intact. It is a bitch to get in though. Come on, you can do it. Yes. So yeah, Boris, I love that band, man. I've seen them live 4 or 5 times, I guess, every time different. That for some people that would be weird, but yeah, they play so many styles, so many good songs, so many riffs. It's incredible. Now, riffs. Sun. Once again, you know I love Sun. Live, of course, they are better. I can really enjoy it on record, and this is definitely one of the biggest gateway records for me personally. Because around the same time, Amra, my nephew, we went to Domino Festival that year a few times, and one of the shows was Boris playing with, was Attila there? Attila was there for Sun, I guess, because they did a Moog ceremony at Abbey, which was, I never heard of Sun, and they did a Moog ceremony, so there was no real guitar or drums, it was just a heavy electronic synth wall of sound, and it floored me. It absolutely fucking floored me. I've seen him since on the Monoliths and Dimension tours. I saw him at a castle in Antwerp. I saw him at a church in Leuven. I saw them at temples, which they rattled the entire town. This is a force. This is not a band. This is a force. And if you can get into it, I implore you, please try again, or see them live before you mouth off about them. Stephen O'Malley did all the artwork on this one. Greg Anderson, you know, the man behind Southern Lord. I mean, Engine Kids. Is it Engine Kid? I think. Brotherhood. He played in the things O'Malley has played in. He played theater productions. So yeah. Love this one. I saw one copy somewhere that has a kind of a signature or a drawing by O'Malley online, which makes it even look better. But love the artwork. And a gateway album in the sense that I was getting out of everything. Actually, I was listening to that hardcore ceremony stuff, and I was bored by it all. Then came Amra, then came this, and then just seeing what was on here. The references to, like, Battery is a reference here. Cry for the Weeper, Candle Goat, and then one track has Striborg on here. So there's a lot of black metal run through this. This is like Probot did for stoner, doom, and heavy metal. This kind of did for black metal, because yeah, there's a lot of nuggets. One of the tracks, I think Sinana maybe, that's on Ambachi. Rest is on here. I mean, it's essentially a American black metal classic. This is the later pressing on silver. I don't know why I got it on silver again, because I have it already, but maybe it's because I have the silver one. I have the limited bonus CD, and I have the Daymare Japanese Obi Gatefold CD. And then there is this one. I think this is my original copy of that record. I even have the shirt, which is torn to death, but I'm still wearing it from time to time. Yeah, kind of the same looking album art and cover, so I showed that. Inner sleeves. This is oh, that's why I got the silver one. This is the picture disc version, that's right. And I always had it in my head that picture disc, because a lot of people put it in my head, that picture discs didn't play well. So I went for a very heavy pressing, and the silver one is a very heavy pressing. But yeah, I'll also show the other picture disc too. It's live pictures by the members holding up their guitars to give the other people on stage a sense of where they are going with the piece, or where they are in the piece, or when a new riff is coming in after 45 minutes. There is an article that has been on the cabinet forever, and it's them playing in the AB, I think the Monoliths and Dimensions Domino Festival, so I'm not sure if it was from the MOOC ceremony or from the Monoliths and Dimensions tour, but I see we're singing. I don't know, man. That even looks like the guy from Xaster. So I can't be sure. But yeah, very, very cool. Very good record. This is not cool. This is, you know, if you don't like it, it's not for you, but it is definitely for me. Two last I will show. I'll check time first. Yeah, we'll make it, people. This is Tau. Once again, I picked the later record. After Amon-Ra, after Sun. I was thrown into Tau, I don't know why. It was the start of Discogs for me, so it's around 2010. I bought all the 7 inches and 10 inches I could find by this band. How did they get on my radar? I have no clue. Maybe Galit Media got on my radar first with something, and then I fell head over heels with this band, Tau. Now, I'm not going to get it out because I've shown them a lot. I've inserted patches I found, so I'll show these. This is Heaton. They did 4 records at the same time, so let's call this their second to last one. Magus is the actual last. It is sludge, Nola, doom, heavy, swamp, heavy, slow, heavy in material, heavy in lyrical material. Yeah, New Orleans, noisemakers. They do covers from Nirvana for, I saw last year they did, not the Cramps, the Misfits live set, which was incredible. I wasn't in the mood, but it was still incredible. No binary gender, no binary sexuality, it says on here. Yeah, they are left politically leaning, which is fine, of course. If you want to talk politics, that is a good place to be for not getting kicked. This is the second one. It was the European. This is the European version on Vendetta. This was the American version, I think, on Elite. No idea. It has. If you found that patch offensive, this one has the. It is beyond definition, and every attempt to describe it can only be a metaphor that never comes near to its true beauty or erotic energy. And then there's two guys hugging, which is so beautiful. They have a mustache, a cool looking mustache. They're gay, I think. Cool. Center labels, this is also a black one, they're both on black, but you know. Why this? Because it has the song Into the Marshlands, which is, I mean, last year at Roadburn it was getting too heavy for me, and I went to see their live show. When that track played, I broke down, I guess, because all the stuff with Michiel all collapsed at that point, and when they played that track, it was goddamn. Check that track out. The last thing I want to show you is because it's the portal into, I guess, all of this for me. I know it's a bit late, and I could have picked out Juvia, but I remember going to Het Bos for the. Actually, for the first time, and that's where I met Joel that day. He was doing Doors, and we were talking about black metal, because, like I said, I had the fringes. I had pulled out Black Cascade too. I have to show that one. Put it back in because of the Black Cascade from Wolves in the Throne Room. Very, very influential. I'm not going to talk about Wolf in the Throne Room, but this record, it's again, it's almost too heavy to listen to. What I was trying to say is. I met Joel, and the doors kind of flew open to American black metal, and it all tumbled in from there. So Juvia and Fallen Empire. And then we talked about Nichtenavonden, which the first press of this record, because this was right after Invicta Mass 5, I think, in Brussels, was just sold out. So I grabbed what I could find, and that was, I think this is still first press. Or second, I'm not sure. So yeah, Fallen Empire, Territory for the Possessions. This is Misterming with Songfach Els of Oraidu. I still can't pronounce it. We talked about this. I asked him, because Joel had Battle and Doom calls, or did he? He was doing distroing, but without having a distro. I don't know how that worked. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, he was talking about this record, and I bought it the day after, and that opened another floodgates, as you can tell by the channel. This was all. Was this pre-channel? No, this was not pre-channel. I think you can see the rise in my black metal career, if I may, throughout the videos on this channel. But who wants to watch all of that by now? Like I said, I have no meaning. I don't even know how to hold this one. Maybe so? You tell me. There's a poster in here, like you can see. Fold this. The record is the red, black, very heavy. And looking at this, it hammers home the fact again that we all miss Fallen Empire. I know Misty Cows is also a very good label, but it is by no means the output that Fallen Empire had with Soltist and whatever. Last Roadburn link, I scored this at Roadburn, or I stole this at Roadburn. When it was over, this was still in the poster frame, so one of the pictures from the entire Icelandic circle that I inserted in the record, and I also bought the re-release, or the fourth reprint of this one with remastered sounds. So that's the last record. I'll show you. This is black.